late in the PM. I'm California dreaming. California dreaming about you.
Yo, what is good, ECF family? If you are new to the YouTube channel, click that subscribe, click that like button, show some love, bro. We love all y'all. Reciprocate the love, you feel me? In today's video, we're going to hit the topic on the 2021 Heisman frontrunners. We're going to go ahead and look at sports lines odds and kind of look at their 2020 stats, match up to their odds, and look at the talent they return, and go a little bit more in depth as to why the Heisman odds are why they are. So obviously coming in at number 1 is Spencer Rattler. Spencer Rattler's that guy, former 5-star prospect from the 2019 class, sat behind Jalen Hurts, had a great year in 2020. He's often how good of a year he had is overlooked from 2 bad interceptions, but had 3,000 plus passing yards, had 28 touchdowns, had 6 rushing touchdowns. He was just a spectacular quarterback for OU, besides 2 bad late game decisions for him. Led OU to a Big 12 championship and a throttling of Florida. Roll a clip.
After the 6-yard run by Stevenson, Rattler, a little bit of pressure as he launches it downfield. Touchdown, Sooners. Pressure up the middle. They pick it up. Shallow cross. This is Weiss and Theo Weiss inside the 10.
Harrison out in front.
Quick to the line. 2nd and goal. Rattler pulls it. Spins his way in. To adapt. And this is a year about adapting. Rattler. He gets free and he'll run for a... Rattler able to escape, and Rattler will have the first down and a heck of a lot more as Rattler then glides the 20-yard line on 2nd and 17 to the end zone and into the hands of Rambo.
Come on, it's pretty easy to see why Spencer Rattler is number 1 coming into the year. Also returns 4 to 5 offensive linemen, has Marvin Mims, Jaden Hasselwood, and more. On to number 2, we got DJ Uiagalelei. DJ Uiagalelei, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I'm going to roll with DJ Uiagalelei. DJ Uiagalelei, another former 5-star quarterback at the University of Clemson, also returns 4 out of 5 offensive linemen. Justin Ross coming back, had 750-plus yards against BC and Notre Dame, which were his 2 starts. Looked impressive. Notre Dame, at the time he played Notre Dame, was the number 1 ranked defense in America and had one of the best defenses in the year 2020. DJ Uiagalelei's potential is... His upside is spectacular. Has a phenomenal arm.
Second drive, Uiagalelei firing deep ball downfield. Cornell Powell with the catch for the touchdown.
And what he can do on the ground game is underrated.
Pulls and has a big chunk play and more. Touchdown, Tigers.
I think you're going to see a lot more RPO with no ETN with DJ Uiagalelei, so it's easy to see why he's number 2 in those odds. Coming in at number 3, there's Sam Howell. Sam Howell, a guy who had Heisman hopes as a sophomore, a guy who was great for UNC, had 3,500 yards, had 30 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns on the ground, just a spectacular quarterback. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do without Javonte Williams and Michael Carter and Dewami Brown. Obviously lost a lot of talent there, right? What's the bounce back going to be like? He's just a pure pocket passer, but a guy who's also better on his feet than given credit for. Easy to see why he's in that conversation. He's in an offensive scheme that really fits his style at quarterback. Interested to see what he can do in the year 2021. On to number 4, we've got D'Eriq King. This is one when I was looking through Sports Lines Odd, it was a little... D'Eriq King at number 4, he just tore. You know, he just got towards ACL, if I'm correct. ACL or MCL. Don't want to start that one. In the game against Oklahoma State. But it's also easy to see that they're buying into the potential of D'Eriq King. D'Eriq King is a high potential guy, a guy who had 500-plus yards on the ground, a guy that had 2,500-plus yards with his arm. My computer just died. A guy who had 2,685 yards passing, had 23 passing touchdowns, had 500-plus yards rushing, had 4 rushing touchdowns. A guy that you just want to see win. If you know a story from U of H, mom had cancer this year, lost his dad a few years back. You just want to see players like that win, right? You want to see that story overcome. And Big decision for him to come back. Interested to see what he can do with Miami in 2021. Picked up transfer wide receiver Charleston Rambo. I think that's going to be a big difference maker in that Miami offense. Miami needed receivers, and they went out and landed a big-time guy, transfer from OU, that is going to be good. De'Aaron King as well is going to be good. Coming at number 5 is Bryce Young. Bryce Young's another one of those prospects that's like, if you're looking at these sports line odds, you're like, how? He was a freshman last year, never really got a chance to start. How is he number 5 on the Heisman odds? Well, quite frankly, it's simple. When you're at a program like the University of Alabama, the expectation is to win, the expectation is to succeed, and the expectation is to thrive. A guy like Bryce Young is going to succeed just to the fact that his offensive line is going to be great. He's going to have Trey Sanders and more at running back. He's going to have John Mechie. He's going to have a bunch of stars at wide receiver. He's putting in an offensive success. He's being put in an offensive system that just generates talent. It's easy to see why he's so high rated, why they're so invested in him. Former 5-star as well. A guy which I don't think I've ever compared anybody to Kyler Murray, because Kyler Murray was just that special out of high school. But Bryce Young is the same type of guy. Massive arm, good with his legs, shorter guy, high potential guy though. Excited to watch what Bryce Young can do with Alabama in 2021. On to number 6, we got Kedon Slovis. Kedon Slovis is another one of those guys where, is he going to be able to live up to his potential at the University of Southern California? USC is one of those schools where this year he was just inconsistent. That is the best word to say. He was inconsistent in every single quarter besides the fourth quarter. Kedon Slovis in the fourth quarter in 2020 was the best quarterback in college football.
Slovis winds up. Deep ball caught over the middle. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Game in the balance here.
Offside coming up. Replay. Slovis winds up. End zone. Touchdown. Here's Slovis. Looking. Fires.
But besides the fourth quarter, he was very inconsistent. A thing he needs to work on. Offensive line has to get better. Has to build a better run game if he truly wants to be in that conversation. Had over 1,000 yards. 17 touchdowns. Did have 7 interceptions, though. That's got to clean up. We'll see what Kedon Slovis can do in the year 2021. All right. On to sleepers. We went ahead and made a list of our own sleepers that just are way too low in betting odds, and I'm not going to even give you an odd for them. I'm just going to let you know the sleepers. First off, we got JT Daniels. JT Daniels, a guy who transferred from USC to Georgia, never got a true chance until later in the season at Georgia, never got a chance to show you what the hype was really about, right? But a guy, even in a game where he's frowned upon, done bad, like Cincinnati, he still had 400 passing yards.
Let's see what the Bulldogs do to counter. Daniels looking downfield. One-on-one, has a man laying out, and Daniels over the middle, caught Pickens. Vorchik, Chris Budden. JT Daniels taking a shot up top, has a man wide open at the 30. It's caught.
Hell of a quarterback. Excited to see what he can do in that offensive system in year 2 at Georgia. Coming in at number 2, we have Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels just has that it factor. Some players just have that swagger. Jaden Daniels has that swagger. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Has an arm like no other.
Now with the lead, they're getting a little wobbly. But downfield shot to Ayuk. A foot race. They won't get him. Wow.
Jaden Daniels can get it on the ground.
4 rush. Daniels steps up. Daniels runs. Daniels 5 leaping touch.
Can get it over with his arm.
Pressure middle. Daniels gets rid of it for Derby.
Interested to see what he can do with Arizona State. He'll be playing more than 4 games this year. Let's see what Jaden Daniels can do. Coming up next, which is the biggest sleeper, I think, in regards to odds and where he's ranked. His name is Breece Hall. Breece Hall finished number 5 in Heisman odds in the year 2020. Returns all 5 offensive linemen. Brock Purdy. And he's not given respect in preseason Heisman odds. That's one thing that doesn't really chop up or make sense to me. Breece Hall is a guy to keep a name on, a guy to watch. I think he's in for a phenomenal year in 2021. Another one we got is Isaiah Spiller. This one, just because how big of a workhorse he is for the University of A&M, how high potential he is, we had to throw him on the list. Only thing that worries me is that maximum is returning 2 out of 5 offensive linemen, which is huge in regards to running back, run game, huge, right? Next up, we've got Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson had 500-plus yards in the final 2 games.
Robinson trying to get downhill. Does! Whoa, watch out! Bijan Robinson, can he get there? What a burst touchdown! Texas!
Colorado had a chance at a pick six. Thompson, the throwback. He pitches it out wide, and that is going to go for a while.
A very high potential guy, former 5-star running back. In Steve Sarkisian's offensive system, running backs thrive. We'll see if Bijan can be that next guy. And if he can do well, will Texas take that next step? We'll see. Up next, we've got Grayson McCall. Yes, we're showing Go 5 some love. I don't feel like any big media crew does it, but Grayson McCall was a true freshman last year and did great things for the University of Coastal Carolina. Returns 20 out of 22 starters. Just a phenomenal quarterback. Very interested to see what he can do. On the topic of Go 5 still, we've got Desmond Ridder. Desmond Ridder is another Go 5 quarterback that doesn't get the respect because he's a Go 5 quarterback. A phenomenal quarterback, good on his legs, good with his arms, a great guy. Now this last one is a bit of a wild card because once he throws the interception, he can't seem to get back in a groove. Just off that sentence, you probably know who I'm talking about. Matt Corral, I think is how they say it, but I say Corral. Matt Corral, if he can exceed that hump of throwing interception and dwelling on it, if he can exceed past that, his potential is limitless. He has one of the best arms in college football. He is great with his legs. One of the best offensive minds in college football in Lane Kiffin. His potential is through the roof. He's just got to get past that I throw an interception, I'm negative on myself the rest of the game mindset. If he can get past that, game over. All right. Now, heading towards the end of the video, you know we had to give you our ECF top 5, and here it is. Coming at number 1, we've got Sam Howell. We're big Sam Howell believers. Think he's a true threat at quarterback. He's going to thrive at UNC next year. Coming in at number 2, we've got Spencer Rattler. These two are the most obvious in contention, right? The best arms in college football as of right now. They're going to do good things. Spencer Rattler coming in at number 2. Number 3, we got Breece Hall. We don't appreciate the Breece Hall disrespect. I don't understand how you can finish number 5 in Heisman odds and then be so low. How can you finish number 5 on non-odds, the actual Heisman, but then drop so low in odds after returning 5 out of 5 offensive linemen? The world may never know. Number 3, we've got Breece Hall. Number 4, we've got DJ Wayyyy. We're sold, okay? Did 2 games sell us? It took more than that. His high school film, the offensive system he's in, the wide receiver talent he's going to have, DJ Wayyyy is going to be a threat. Coming in at number 5, we got JT Daniels. Another guy, great offensive line, returns Zamir White, Kendall Milton at running back, has Jermaine Burton and countless stars, George Pickens at wide receiver. We believe he's going to be in that conversation as well. With that being said, on the topic of JT Daniels, I will see y'all within the next 2-3 days for the JT Daniels story video. It'll be a 3-part series. I'm excited to have that one for y'all. Until then, you already know what I'm about to say. Y'all stay up. Y'all stay blessed. This means I love you in sign language or share the love. We truly do love all y'all. We got the best college football community on the gram. Quite frankly, no lies detected. Lie detector radar, no lies. We're over here building the best college football community on the gram, bro, on the YouTube. I appreciate y'all for working with me. I promise you I'm a work in progress when it comes to YouTube, but we'll get there. Can't wait to see y'all for the JT Daniels story. Y'all stay up. Y'all stay blessed. If no one told you today, I'm proud of you, bro. Keep pushing.